Back inside the Mall of Asia Arena, it is FEU against Adamson. And so far, as you can see, it's been all Far Eastern University. In this last game of the elimination round, and Jasper Parker and company just absolutely dominating that first half of play.
And it's been a balanced effort, Mico, for the FEU Tamaraws. Everybody has gotten to the picture pretty much in terms of scoring, defending, you know, contributing everything they have to do, from spacing it properly, giving the right screens, moving it out the ball. On the other side for Adamson, they really struggled. Before they even hit their first three-pointer, I think they were over 7. And, you know, that's one of the things that they like to play with, is to have a good perimeter game. But obviously, they're missing their 2 best shooters in Mangati and Misi, who are not playing today, as they are still recovering from minor injuries and being under the weather. But if you're Coach Franz and you're Adamson, you just still want to play this game the right way. Up to the second half, do not look at the scoreboard. Treat the second half as a totally separate game and play it differently. And play, if you can win the scoring in this half, so be it. And forget what happened here. But for the sake of, you know, statistical proof, we have to tell you what happened. And that is what looks like a total domination for the FEU Tamaraws. 55% from the field, only 24 for Adamson. 7 of 11 from beyond the arc for the Tamaraws, only 1 out of 10 for the Falcons. Rebounding as well, 26-13. Dito ka rin masiguro mapa-frustrate as a coach, because fine, there are misses, fine, there are, you know, struggles, but you gotta work a little bit harder on the hustle stats and try to get more of those boards. Pati in turnovers, 9-7 though, lamang ng konting FEU. So a little bit of Adamson's defense is working in that aspect against FEU.
You look at our leaderboard, Arvin Tolentino leading all scorers with 10 points for FEU. Jerome Lastimosa, he's trying his best to spearhead the Adamson offense in the absence of Jerica Nisi and Sean Manganti. And you see on our leaderboard also the proof of the domination of FEU. So Adamson, the burden was on Adamson to try and bounce back in this game. So let's find out what's happening on the Falcons side of the court with Cor Katibayan. Cor?
Mico and TJ, the first half of the game shows the impact of the absence of our top 2 shooters to the performance of the team today. However, Coach Franz Bumaran has constantly been reminding them to not depend on anybody else but themselves. He also says that he also reminds the team that they need to make the adjustments that they need to apply for today's game if they want to cut the lead closer against FEU and to show that they will not go down without a fight. You also mentioned earlier, Mico and TJ, about how the Falcons can afford to lose their game today, given that they have already secured their twice-to-beat advantage. However, Coach Franz emphasizes that they need the tough mentality that he has instilled with the boys time and time again, and to use it as a drive and motivation for the coming half. Mico and TJ?
That's correct, Cor. We cannot imagine Coach Franz being relaxed and happy in the locker room after that first half performance.
Well, for sure, I can imagine how animated he could have been in the locker room to try to demonstrate, as Cor said, it's how you play. Regardless of what the outcome will be, you have to continue to play the way we play. That toughness, that grit, that same kind of intensity, and they got to be that for the next 24 minutes.
On the other hand, the Tamaraws must have been ecstatic in the locker room. And let's find out the latest on FEU from Sydney Crespo. Sydney?
Well, actually, Mico, hindi ganon ang sitwasyon kanina sa dugout, because as you mentioned, it was all FEU in the first half, but you know, Coach Olsen was still not contented with their performance, knowing that Adamson is a very good executing team, especially with their pressure defense. At alam mo, kanina sa dugout, surprisingly, it was former head coach Nash Rosella who started the huddle. Sinimulan niya ito by sharing a story na noong 2015 daw. They were in the same situation against LaSalle, pero sila yung may twice-to-beat advantage, or yung may no-bearing game. Pero former head coach Nash Rosella motivated the men earlier by saying na kahit tambak sila nun ng malaki, nanalo pa rin sila. Kaya don't make the same mistakes daw, sabi nila former head coach Nash and of course current head coach Olsen Rosella.
Well, thank you, Sydney. So the Rosella brothers teaming up to remind the Tamaraws not to be careless, not to take Adamson lightly in the second half.
Well, ang sarap naman nila, not 1 but 2 Rosellas, giving them those constant reminders. Parang nabanggit mo kanina, do they want to win by 100? Maybe they do want to win by 100.
Maybe
that's when Coach Olsen will be smiling and be happy with what he's going to see on the floor. But nonetheless, they cannot take anybody lightly. They cannot take Adamson lightly.